decide who you love.
And who do I love?
And who you love isn't nobody around us. Or it isn't nobody, period. Right? You see the guy over there?
Yeah.
Who is that? No.
I don't know.
Wrong thing. Who am I?
Who are you?
Well, the answer is I'm the love of your life.
Oh, really?
And selling houses is like milking cows.
Now, boss, what the hell that's supposed to mean? That don't make sense.
Go start the car.
Okay, boss. All right, sorry. I'll see you later.
You have to excuse me, miss. To let you know that you're beautiful. I didn't mean to be interrupted like that, but you kind of hold on me.
Isn't that the Miracles or something?
Maybe so. But let me slide you my number, and you give me a call, sweetie.
Okay, then.
I assume you think I missed your cruise, but you missed the clue I already knew. Turning your head in another direction, one would think I'd make the news. It's the heart that matters, not hearsay to him. He loves his children dearly, and yes, we all see them.
Young. Under street lights where shadows rap, echoes whisper dreams we'll never trap. City's heartbeat in a boombox beat, concrete jungle where rhymes meet. Break dancers spin life's tough ballet, graffiti tells tales in colors of gray. Turntable scratch history's old track, hopes a DJ say the future's back. Yeah, rhymes flowing like a river strong, bass lines thumping like a heartbeat song. Voices lift above the city's noise, chasing dreams, we make our choice.
In the 1980s, a new generation was in the making. The completion rate of success was at an all-time high. In Memphis, Tennessee, Black Power couldn't be higher.
As far as growing up in the 80s, I don't have much memory, but it probably be the late 80s, probably going to preschool and starting high school, you know, being born in 84, so I remember probably maybe, I don't know, 89, 88, something like that, because I remember my little sister was born. She was born in 88, so I can remember maybe from 88 and maybe 89 and on, you know, down. I'm Lele. That's my nickname. That's what I go by. I am late night talk, content creator, influencer, motivational influencer, a life coach, a Lacey life coach. Life as you see it. I got a strong background in mental health. Mr. Jimmyrico, yes. I met Mr. Jimmyrico not long back at our job at the university where we work, and he seemed real nice and laid back and kind of to himself and very active within the class and what we was doing, and seemed to know what he's doing. And we kind of connected quick, you know, we kind of started talking.
I met Lele at the university not too long ago, probably a month or two or three, something like that. I don't know, but Lele was pretty cool, professional as always. And when I first seen Lele, it kind of like, okay, that's more like my style. Like she felt like the home team, you know. I felt comfortable with Lele. So we kind of like kicked off the conversation at work or whatnot, and we kind of hit it off. We both was into like stuff like this, filming and influence, and she's more of the normal career, mental health expertise, intertwined within that. So it's like if I'm to talk to her and to connect with her from her unique standpoint, um, you know, influence is kind of like, it was different. So like she grew up around the same time period, which is another factor of why I think that we got along and we still get along. She got a head start as far as experiencing the environment that we was around that time, the late 80s. The type of climate, people on drugs and crack cocaine that hit the scene and all that type of stuff. She got a head start in that, and she pretty much experienced some of the things that I experienced, the project and stuff like that. But me, she doesn't, not to my knowledge, suffer from any mental health. With me, I suffered as a kid from ADHD and learning disability and depression, which I don't know what age it was discovered, but at that time, it was going on.
Up in the 80s as a little boy with ADHD, I suppose, as a little boy, some little boys don't deserve as much attention as they assume little girls need, but all children need attention, especially if you got a child that's diagnosed with something, especially like that, the little boy, they use like it's hyper, they being a little boy, you'll probably think, oh, he just being a little boy, he just being a child, and the traits that come with having ADHD, know before they get diagnosed, you'll think they just being a wild child. Eventually, once they get diagnosed and they get the proper help and medication that they needed, if their parents allow them to, certain medication.
A certification that would set the course for Jimmy Rico.
Growing up in the 80s, seeing a black man, seemed like they kind of, I suppose I'm going to say, transitioned into the era of, hip-hop and, probably getting into the drug scene, as far as a young fella. It depended on their circumstance with the parents, and what's going on in the household. And, around that time, like I said, the crack era was high. And not saying that everybody was on drugs back then, but it was a lot of people experimenting, not knowing where it was going to really take them to the next level. And having children and family, it affects them, and they may not be able to be attentive to their children and their family financially, emotionally. The child is already going through something into deeper depression or into more extended mental issues, for their future.
But for Jimmy Rico, extended mental health made reservations like extended stay hotels.
The hip-hop scene in the 80s seemed like it was lit. Really, it seemed like it was really lit. Everybody came together with no cell phones like that. That everybody didn't have them. They had cell phones, but you had to be somebody big time to have a cell phone. But everybody came together and danced, and the way they dressed, and had their own style. And it was different. It seemed really, really fun. Growing up in that era, probably being a teenager, it seemed really fun, and everybody knew everybody and hung out and had fun, and and just came together. It wasn't no distractions. Everybody head down in their phone. It wasn't none of that. Everybody outside, jump roping, playing. Catch a girl, get a girl. Catch a boy, get a boy. Just doing childlike teenage things.
In the 1980s, breakdancing was the solution of most conflict. But in Memphis, hip-hop flooded the scene. Hip-hop music became a source to get a ticket to escape reality. By the time Jimmyrico started listening to music, his reality was the focus of the moment.
I think in the 80s, I really, the late 80s, if I recall exactly, I can't really pinpoint like a certain thing that probably stirred an event in my life, but the projects was what it was. Around that time in the 80s, I think I was in the 80s, don't quote me on that, I don't know what time this was because my mother, she probably won't remember, but we had got kicked out the car for some reason. I think that was the 80s or something like that, or I don't know, but the walk on the highway, on the side of the highway, and somebody had picked us up and took us home. Far as Hertz, it was either Hertz Village, not one Hertz Village, it was Faber Homes, I don't know, it was somewhere in the South, bro, but that's where I was born at, in the 80s, was getting kicked out of daycare. And my mother was chasing me, well, my mother and my stepfather was chasing me around this daycare because they had like these little brick walls that like a maze throughout the area. I guess I don't know if it was a particular room, but it was big to me. So they was chasing me around and stuff like that. And I always was running from my parents because I never wanted a whooping from them, and I was always bad. I don't know, where that was at in daycare, but I was running through the maze. And then I was brought to Scudderfield in North Memphis where I was raised and everything. So if you want me to pinpoint a certain event, I can't. But the late 80s, from my standpoint, was pretty good, mainly because I don't remember a lot from the 80s.
That's what I get out of Mr. Jimmyrico. He seems like he's a good family man, take care of his family, and strong, honest. He's gonna protect himself and his family and those around him, just like men do. Black men in the community. Not gonna let nobody come over in your certain community and disrespect a certain elderly. Gonna take up for people. That's what Mr. Jimmyrico seems like he is. That's what he is. A protector. Women. And just people around him, those he loves. And growing up in that era, everybody was tight knit and kind of knew everybody, but I may not like you, but I'm not gonna let no outsider mess with you type of stuff. We may not be cool, but I'm not gonna let nobody mess with you type of stuff. It was like that type of stuff going on. A lot of protection, and people looked out for each other. That's what Mr. Jimmyrico seemed like he doing. He's looking out for me.
Within every step, there's a journey. Within every journey, there's a story. This is the story of Jimmyrico Pigram into Rise in Christ.
What drives the ambition to do what I do is to, I like to help people. I always have. It was just a child, so that it actually just grew and grew and grew. But things changed, as I grew up. One minute I wanted to be this and that, but it always revolved around helping people, And I think I finally found my niche in mental health a little bit, I like mental health. I really do, because it gave me more understanding, because we all can fall short to having something going on with our mental and be institutionalized somewhere, in a padded room. I would never tell nobody, this could not be me, because it could be me. So, and I like to help people get more understanding, get more background of people with different diagnoses. Like I said, I'm not a professional, but it's very interesting, to learn, with the mind and just people in general, because people are fighting out here. They need help. I want to be a part of the helping community.
I like that. Okay, so what?
My social media platforms are Late Night Talk. Everything is Late Night Talk. If you want to find me, I'm up on the Late Night Talk on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Them are the platforms that I utilize mostly. Mostly Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. But Instagram, I'm on Instagram. I'm trying to get more into it, but you can find me there definitely under Late Night Talk. I'm the night owl. I'm a night coach. I'm a life coach. I like to revolve around nighttime, help people that going through things. Because I feel like nighttime is when most of our problems and troubles come to us, can't sleep, tossing and turning, you might want to talk to somebody. A lot of things go on at nighttime. It's definitely different between day and night, I tell you that.
All right.